What's going on, y'all? RJ with RJ's Trades. Got a few stocks for you to watch this week. I'm gonna get straight into it. All right, so SPY is the first one that you want to watch. Now we do have earnings this week, so you have to be careful. I'm more so looking at day trade mostly this week. But looking at SPY, you have here what I call the three-touch rule. No, I didn't make this strategy up, but you can look it up. It's called the three-touch rule. Now, this is when you have a trend line on a larger time frame. This is the daily chart for SPY. You usually expect it to bounce the third time that it touches a trend line that it has been hitting for a while. So this is a trend line from October. So we are now touching this trend line from October for the third time. All right. So I expect SPY to bounce. Now, once we get in a little bit closer, you also see on SPY that we do have a little bit of gap to fill, right? So we have a gap to fill up at about 553. So I am expecting SPY to bounce here, right? So I'm expecting it to possibly fill that gap, if not continue upward. So my thesis so far is bullish. Now, if we start to break down and we break below this trend line, it can start to get bearish, which I have a couple of bearish plays that can possibly play out as well. All right. So that is SPY. Okay. So something that also aligns with a bounce is Tesla. So we have Tesla here. Now I want to show you this Tesla from the daily chart. So Tesla from the daily chart, it is pretty much right at this trend line, right? So this downward trend line that we've been in since 2021, Tesla broke out and we kind of are retesting it right now. Okay. So this thing could possibly be the dip buy for Tesla. Okay. If this thing starts to push up again and it starts to get back above 225.97, you have a gap to fill of the 245. But the thing is, you got to look from the mountain down to the field. Top down analysis. This is a 3-year downtrend. So if Tesla does indeed bounce here and it starts to push up again into those 240s, don't be surprised to see Tesla go on another run. All right. So that's Tesla. This might be my favorite play this week, honestly. That is IWM. So IWM from the daily chart here. You see, I'm showing straight daily charts. All right, top down analysis. If you understand what's going on a large time frame, you can trade it on a smaller time frame. All right, those big intraday moves are mainly made from big moves from the larger time frame. So this right here is a pennant called this is a pattern called a pennant pattern. Okay, so this is a bullish pennant pattern. So I'm expecting this to continue upward. Okay, now when we zoom out just a little bit, you can see that we're actually in a place that was previously pretty choppy for IWM. So I'm thinking if IWM can break this area right here around 226, 227, we could see a continuation for IWM. So this may actually be my top watch for the week. Looks like IWM above that 226, 227 area. I expect this thing to continue to push. All right. So we did SPY, we've done Tesla, we've done IWM. I will also show you guys, I'll show you Nike. All right, so Nike right here. Nike daily chart again. This right here is actually a bullish divergence play. So if you see here, the stock is making lower lows. The RSI is trying to make higher lows, okay? We're making lower lows on the stock price and making higher lows on the RSI. This is bullish divergence. So you may ask, well, why do you expect this to bounce instead of keep falling? Well, for one, because bullish divergence tells us that this thing could possibly bounce. Possibility is everything. Secondly, if I'm expecting SPY to bounce on this trend line, I'm also expecting the stocks within SPY to bounce. All right. So if I feel like SPY is in a place that it can bounce, I want to look for plays that can be bullish or plays that I feel like can bounce. All right. Now, if we also zoom out again, let's zoom out again. Let's look at this from the weekly chart even more. One thing that's kind of ugly is that Nike has broken this weekly trend line from 2012. So it has broken down from that, but I do expect a bounce. Even if we get a bounce to just retest that old trend line, that would be amazing. So notice what you also have here. This is where this play can get really interesting. If Nike was to start going up, right, you have this gap from 79 all the way to 93. So you have a huge gap. You have a bullish divergence setup. This is something that I'm looking to possibly take. So those are a few plays that I like this week.